so we're down here at the Kubota. Been sitting here for a couple of days now, and I finally went and got tyres for this yoke. The front tyres are completely bald on this yoke, and we already got a puncture on them already. So I'm going to now swap the back ones, which were good 70%ish, to the front. Have them lined up there, and we're going to put our 2 new tyres on the back. So these are just the same, very same that was on the front. There is a hub in this that needs oil, and they recommend every 200 hours you're supposed to change this oil. I doubt there's very many of them people about. But to just keep everything right, we're going to change this oil completely. So, there we go. Set this on here. Yeah. It's alright. There's very little wrong with that. It doesn't hold very much, but there's absolutely no glitter in that, and I don't think there's a magnet on these. It's pity they don't put a magnet on the end of them. Some of them do. Catches all the bits of filings and stuff. But no, that's nice and clean. So the stuff they reckon to put into this is Super UDT. This little yoke I had here for putting oil into yokes used to be great, but there must be a seal or something gone, because all it's doing now is leaking all the time. And that's very clear stuff. It seems watery. I thought it would have been thicker stuff. The Kubota dealers themselves told me that's what you put into it, so I'm just going to do what I'm told. Alright, so there's tyres and that, and we'll not have maybe any more punctures. If you look at them there, there's actually, I'd say a good 70%, maybe even close to 80% tread left in them. We'll go unload all this, get ready for milking, and we start the next job. We're just finished milking again. So our heifers that are way over there on the road, not on the road, but they're over the road, in the field beside the cottage. We're going to take them over the road, bring them up through 2 paddocks of grass. We're going to put up a fence there to stop them from going into them. So I want to get this grass that's in front of the calves. I want to get it all cleaned out completely, and then have this paddock just for calves then. But this fence here that goes around this whin area, we're going to have to fix this up. So, well, we're here now for about 15 minutes and we have this sorted. So I went up there with the chainsaw and we cut back some of them wins, or some people call them gorse. They're all cut back away from the wire the whole way around. This normally would go to here, but that post, all them posts are rotten. So we just put a couple of pegs here, brought an extra bit of steel wire, and we hooked it onto one post that is sort of standing, and then from there we run a strip fence whole way up around them old bushes just to keep the cattle away from them, and up to that fence above. Cole's just coming down here with a lock of pegs, because what we need to do now is we need to sort out up above where the cattle are going to come up and come into this field. So we'll have to run a tape, white tape, the whole way down to the road just to direct them up. And we're just basically making a corridor the whole way up there to them trees. They'll be going in at the very, very top. And Sophia's going to stay over here. She's going to stop any traffic going over this road. There's never usually much traffic on this road, but as soon as you put an animal on it, you know how it goes. Now, will they come out? That's the thing. It's a game of patience, this, because they'll stand at the gate and they'll quiz, and they know where they're going. They're not one bit afraid. It's just, it's a game, and there's no point in going in and trying to hunt them out, because they'll run to the other side of the field. Right, so just hunted the other ones on a wee bit. That might coax these ones to come out. It's all a game. I've got a reel here. What I'm going to do is this white tape, this is a new roll of white tape. I need to put it on a reel anyway, so now that we have it opened up, it's a perfect time to roll it up. Just another wee thing I remembered from a video we were doing, there's no electric here. So we had an underground cable that was rusted out, and I meant to come back and fix it and I didn't. But I have wire, so I'll come back up here and I'll sort that out now in a few minutes. Alright, so we're over here in a bog field. The sun is shining right directly in my face, but the cattle has ate this really well. This is the wetter spot here. And there's the tree that we left behind. We put a fence around it, which me and the girls are just after lifting there now. So before this week's out, I'll cut the rest of that up, get rid of it, and we'll fix back up that electric fence and get all that repaired. Today is the day. I'm just on my way over to the farm because I see trailers coming in the gate. Silage for 2025. Oh yeah, I can see them there. It's about to start. The wee thing I do every year before lads come, I go around all the crossroads and I cut all the grass down. Just trim back everywhere where people can at least see out. You see that kind of white stuff there that grows along the road? That stuff there really impedes your vision. It only takes a few minutes to trim it off. I'll show you just the crossroad down here. Cut it. So start it here. Just run the whole way down here to the crossroad. And that just allows lads to see out. It's not just for the lads that are at the silage, but it's for myself, my family and everybody else that uses the road. You come up at a crossroad beforehand you couldn't see to there. And now just 5 minutes later, on both sides, when you trim it back, you have a great vision of the road when you come out. It's the same down there. Just trim back that little white stuff. Just looking across the hedge here, I noticed one thing. There's not a heap of dust coming off the grass and into the trailer. And I'm glad to see that. I've seen years where there'd be a massive dust behind the trailers and that stuff never kept the best. It's alright, it fed them, but I'm glad to see that it's not like that. So I'm just pulling into the shade here. It's 24 degrees here at the moment. And it feels warmer, funny enough, but us Irish just aren't. We're not made for the heat. One thing I am remarking is when the stuff isn't heavy and it's not kind of laying down, it's cut it lovely there. It's not shaved too tight. We didn't want that in case we'd pick up this stuff, which is laying underneath it, but it's shaved enough. That stuff will come back very quickly. You just know it. It's not bent down, it's just standing there ready to go again. That stuff's alright. Yeah, still a wee bit of moisture in it underneath. It's fairly dry on the top now, so it is, but once you get a little bit of moisture like that, I'm happy enough with that. Well, I think the very last load just went in there. A bigger pit than I thought. That would only be halfway up the walls, but it's more. Now, the pit itself is a bit shorter. We're short about 4 feet. But I do know there's lovely stuff, and there's a bit of moisture in it. That's what we really wanted. We didn't want it too dry. So what Gary's gonna just finish off here, you give it a good rolling. The invisible watch tells me it's about 5:30, so we're gonna let Gary finish off there now for the next 15 minutes or so, give it a good rolling. And then we're gonna get the cows in. We're gonna get all our work done. Sinead's going over to feed the calves and look the animals, close all the gates in the silage fields. And when we get everything done and wrapped up for about 6:30, we're gonna take into covering it. Hopefully the wind will die down. Because it's a smaller pit, it won't take very long to cover. I do have a time lapse up there. Is it still working? You know, I don't think it is. It isn't. All right, so let Gary finish away here. We go and do our work and we pick it up when we're covering it. Right, so the girls have given the pit a bit of a levelling, and they've also pulled some of the grass away from the walls on both sides, so when we put bags along the walls they won't get pushed out. A bit of a verge sloping up to the wall, just with tyre pressure pushing up against it, it builds up, so we could never put a bag along the wall, it would always roll away from it. So we always keep it more or less flat or a little bit of a hollow once it's below the walls, and that keeps it that the bag will stay in place. Nicole is actually just finishing off washing the machine. Give it a really quick roll here. It doesn't need much. The good thing is the sugars seem to be quite high in it because I can see the grass sticking to the tyres. I noticed when I picked it up my hands as well, it was sticking to my hands, so the sugar levels is quite good on it. The stuff should be really good quality, it's just there's not a lot of it. And that's the same on every farm. In my locality anyway, it might be different for you. After such a long dry spell, grass just wasn't growing, but it was time definitely to cut it. I was contemplating leaving it late and waiting until the rain came and giving it a chance to grow more, but the fertiliser was gone out of it. The quality would certainly start to go out of it, and I think we made the right decision. Just cut it, get fairly good quality stuff in, not too dry, and then we can come back in about 2 months time and we can do a second cut, hopefully the whole thing again, and have a really good size pit then to work with. So one of the things I'm trying to do this year is not make as many bales. When Dad was running the show we only made 50 to 100 bales anytime. We always made a really good pit of silage. We weren't cutting them times till 15th of June, so it was cutting quite late. Quality just wasn't as big of an issue to Dad. He just wanted quantity. And that's the way he did it. So but I find now by cutting early you don't get the quantity, you do get the quality. But that leaves us with quite a large second cut and a third cut. And we end up with a lot of bales, and then at the time we're drawing them bales home, we use them first before the cows calve, and then we switch over to pit silage and the cows calve, because I always find the cows do much better on the first cut pit silage. So that's the kind of way we did it. But this time, this year, I'm going to make far less bales, make very little bales. In fact, just enough to keep the heifers going on the farm and make a good size silage pit instead. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to continue on here, get this rolled, and we'll get ready to cover it. Alright, well we have it in good enough shape now. It's all levelled out. The ladies are up there sweeping around the front of it. After drawing up some bags there and drawing up all the netted and stuff up to the front so we can pull downhill rather than pull uphill. I'm just loading some bags here to have bags all around us ready to rock. We've nearly them all used. We've one net left there. We normally put 3 on, but this is a bit short of the year and it doesn't have to come down a big bankment at the back, so we might get away with 2. What do you think, Saoirse? 2 nets or 3?
3.
No, 2. You should have said 2. She says 3, but then she is only 2 years old. My God, I've grown a lot. Anyway, now you can see how tall I really am. 7'1". So Saoirse's going to finish off rolling the pit there with her tractor. As you can see, there's a lot of dust blowing here. It's very, very dry at the minute. And very windy. Yes, ma'am. So it's now gone, what, 7:30? We're going to leave it for about 15-20 minutes, and we're going to have a cup of tea. And then we're going to take into it because it's very windy. It's twice the job trying to put covers on when it's windy. So just roll that bit there in the middle. That's it. Good lassie. That's it, first cut is now completed. It's about 7 days later and you can see the fields are greening up nicely. That's one of the good things, I suppose, when you have a later crop. You get a better response when it's cut because it's cut nice and clean and there's no butt really on the ground at all. It can just come up. There is a place over there, which will be in the next video, I'll show you it, over beside them trees over there. Underneath where the trees shelter the ground from the sun, the stuff grew really, really heavy and there's very little comeback on that because you have an old kind of a butt on the bottom of the ground, which the grass has to kind of push up through, but here it's done really well. We have slurried it. I don't know if you can see our lines. Well, you can see probably 2 sets of lines, the one in the spring and the one now, but we did slurry everything with real watery slurry. Threw 6-7 loads of water to it. I mean, we crossed it as fast as the tractor could go. I was in 4A on a day and a 6, and that's her at the butt without dying down, and she was dying down at times. Anyway, I'll have to turn the macerator off, turn it back on again to get over some of the hills. We got a lot of rain after that, which has washed at least 50 to 60% of it in, and we're due more rain this week, a lot of rain this week, which should dilute it down into the ground. The reason I stand here before I finish today's video is, you remember we came in here after the first cut slurry was put out. So the slurry we put out in the springtime, late March, April, whenever that was, we done a bit of tramping around this place here. It wasn't mucked up or anything, it was just tramped down from the tank and in and out. So we came in with the tine harrow then, the air seeder, we videoed that, and we put some new seed throughout this whole area here. Well, you can certainly see it, and I don't know if the camera is going to show it, but the naked eye can see it plain. If you look in front of me here, this whole area was done. I'm not sure out there if you can see, there's nearly a line of green grass going up that way, about 40 foot wide. That is the area where we went up and around, where we were drawing the tank up and going round to the top of the hill. We kind of have to go round an S shape to get to the top of that hill with our tanker when it's full. Just here, there's a lovely lush of green grass coming there. It's very young grass too, you'd know to look at it. So it's proofs in the pudding, it does work if the conditions allow it. And by the way, that didn't get good conditions because that time it was very, very cold. We even got a frost a few nights as well. So it didn't get ideal conditions, but it still worked. Anyway, the girls with me now. We're after putting the heifers in the chute. We're just making a wee change on them. And I just got a phone call that there's a man sitting on my street with a plough on the back of the tractor. But that's for the next one. We'll see you then.